We're having a jolly good time here at the 2017 volunteer and community member crawfish boil. You know I love my crawfish. Joe and Kristen, the rain did slack off about an hour ago, but we're starting to see a light drizzle now, and more rain is expected throughout tonight and tomorrow, and that is not good news for those who live near the Biloxi River. So there's good news coming for the residents and people who commute in this area daily. And absolutely devastating news we're having to report on to end this Fat Tuesday festivity here in Biloxi. What's unique about these cameras is the fact that they're fitted on the inside of an officer's vest versus the outside. Authorities say he is responsible for pulling the trigger and shooting the victim, which we now know to be Bernard Kennedy, also of Gulfport. What's the key really fast to hitting it over?
You just gotta hit it hard. I mean, first of all, you got to hit it in there and hit it.
The Olympic Games are coming back to Los Angeles. LA has reached a deal with the International Olympic Committee. One man has pled guilty for his role in the 2016 Mardi Gras parade shooting in Pass Christian. Harrison County investigators say a man is facing federal drug charges after heroin was found in a Gulfport hotel room. Dewana Hickerson met Dee Wiggum online. They went to a hotel in St. Martin, had sex, and then Hickerson stabbed Wiggum and stole her purse. He was sentenced to 40 years for the murder and 15 years for the robbery. Deputies are looking for two people allegedly involved in a shooting that left a man injured in his groin in St. Martin today. The two-day trial comes to an end, and Cameron May is found guilty on all counts. Judge Del Harkey sentenced May to 100 years with 50 years to serve. The jury deliberated for 2 hours before convicting May of kidnapping, sexual battery, and 2 counts of aggravated assault from the attack in September of 2015 at the Dominion Apartments in Ocean Springs. May testified that demonic voices told him to commit an evil act in order to become one of the demonic gods he's grown to worship. The Ora O'Keeffe Museum of Art in Biloxi unveiled 2 of their newest exhibits. On today's One on Wednesday, Ocean Springs police are looking for a smooth criminal who escaped the long arm of the law and fled through the woods yesterday. An Alabama woman who could be on the coast. Authorities say 68-year-old Kay Adkins Rains of Mobile, Alabama, was last seen at the Beau Rivage Casino in Biloxi. Cold cases often remain unsolved for decades, and sometimes they're never solved. A family left searching for justice, a murderer walking freely. Busy night for Biloxi police tonight as a car drives into a lake and a police cruiser is struck just feet away. We turn it over to Hank Davis, who's at the scene of both accidents on Old Highway 67 with the latest. Hank. Daphne may be okay with it, but if you ever call me a tall drink of water, it's not going to end well for Jeff.
So
I'm just letting
not
you guys
again then?
know that there. Not again. Let's not.
But you're not 6'3". I mean, that's
I'm
tall.
not 6'3". There's nothing wrong with being tall. Be proud of that, girls out there. I love it. I love being tall. I'm tall as you can look you in the eyes. Crystal Gonzalez whispered, "I love you," to her tearful family as they watched deputies escort her from the courtroom, now a convicted arsonist. Judge Chris Schmidt ruled that Gonzalez would serve 7 years in prison and have to pay $1.2 million in restitution to Arbor Properties, the owner of the apartment complex she admitted to burning down in March of 2014.
We're upset, that's it. Thank you.
In making his decision, Judge Schmidt said nobody was a winner in this case. He acknowledged that although he did not believe her initial intent was to burn down the entire complex, the fact remained that it was her act of setting her then live-in boyfriend's t-shirt on fire that started the blaze. Standing before the judge in a final plea, Gonzalez delivered a tearful appeal to the court, stating she took full responsibility for the damage caused by her actions.
Ms. Gonzalez, had anyone been killed in this fire, you could have faced a death penalty eligible crime.
Gonzalez's mother and grandmother asked the judge for mercy. Gonzalez's fiance, who is ironically a firefighter, even added that she would be leaving behind their 1-year-old daughter. Judge Schmidt said he did take into account 50 letters that friends and family members wrote him in support of Gonzalez's character, along with his observation that she had a strong family support system. But ultimately, he said the fire uprooted too many lives, killing pets, damaging cars, and causing trauma for the victims. One of those victims was Phil Harding, who lost everything in the fire.
I harbor no ill will toward the defendant, but I think she needs to be held accountable for her actions. Don't want to ruin the rest of her life, but I think some time needs to be served here. So I think this is a just result and a just sentence.
Do you think that she seemed to feel sorry for her actions?
One can only hope so.
One glance at Claudia Jo Macbeth and she looks like your typical spunky 2-year-old. Take a bit of a closer look and you'll notice a purple patch on her right arm. Claudia suffers from type 1 diabetes. She was diagnosed when she was just 18 months old.
To say overwhelmed was probably an understatement.
Claudia's mother, Jody Stafford, says when she heard about the email that went viral of State Representative Jeffrey Geis bluntly telling Nicole Nichols to consider using money she has earned to cover medical costs for her diabetic child, she was deeply saddened.
It was a real big blow to the diabetic community because we work so hard just to keep our child alive. And then for him to say such a selfish and rude remark about a disease that he obviously knows nothing about. I mean, this mother, just like all of us, is trying to take care of her child, and no parent should be faulted by that.
Besides keeping a close eye on Claudia's insulin levels at all times and fighting with her insurance company to cover costs for essential diabetic supplies, Stafford's husband works 2 extra 24-hour shifts a month. This covers the $700 a month for the remaining medications that insurance doesn't cover, placing a strain on family time.
She says, "Where's my daddy? Is he at work? Why does he have to work?"
And I miss you, and I want you all day long.
Is that daddy on the phone?
Yes.
Stafford says she just hopes Representative Geis's controversial words can now serve as a lesson to others to educate themselves on diabetes.
I would love for people to be more compassionate.
Like these words placed inside the Macbeth living room, Stafford says they get by with a little insulin and a whole lot of Jesus.